Tickets for the in-person Sin Week events are available through the end of January. Don't miss out on your chance to join the Sin Crew and the Sin Club for delicious food, sinful movie watching, and more. The live event is in Nashville this March. Check the link in the video description for all the details.
Welcome to Sin Week! Woo!
Why are we waiting in line for food?
Rick asks this instead of the very obvious, why are we waiting in this wildly inefficient line for food? Look, any good business should have a grasp of basic queue management systems, and in a space this confined, your basic, hardly structured queue just isn't going to cut it. At the very least, this asteroid should have barriers in snake formation to maximize the lateral space, but really this calls for an e-ticketing system where an order is placed, the customer returns to their vehicle, and is called up once their food is ready. Ideally, considering everyone is driving here anyway, a multi-window drive-through situation would be the dream, but come on guys, it's just a cartoon. I'm not that nitpicky.
Rick, you're gonna spoil your appetite. That's a weird way to say I'm gonna stop being hungry by eating food.
Right out of the gate, Rick would be a season 2 episode of Rick and Morty at TV Sins.
What a wonderful thing to say.
I was merely inspired by the wonderful thing you said.
The comment section of every TV Sins video somehow makes it into the episode. Now, for those of you who haven't paused, I know you're the ones that have been leaving the comments, and I see what you write, and I would just like to say, thank you! Your adoration for my brilliantly executed wit and expertly crafted comedy stylings is obviously expected, but still appreciated nonetheless. So, the sin as always is me being excellent at TV Sins. Well, at least the mystery of the long line has been solved. What kind of assholes go to a food truck to order this many, burrito sub-witches?
How nice it will be for you to eat what you were willing to stand in line for so much sooner.
Trying to incept the idea into someone's head that they should be happy about the way you've treated them because of how you feel about it. I'm not sure which vehicle warning light this is, but I'm sure it's one of them.
Dear fellow.
Littering the ground with your unwrapped lettuce-filled, Hot Pockets?
Good day.
Chainmail that is this ineffective against a f***ing sword. Whoa, wait a minute. Rewind that sh**. Without a word of warning, Sir David of Mitchell is either teleported out of the blue by an external force causing him to drop the food, or he deliberately drops the food and teleports them back to the sun. Either way, what the f*** was the point of this trip if all the food has been left behind? Why did Rick put this portal on the floor? We've seen portals appear out of thin air many times, so it's not like they require a physical surface like portals. If he'd used it normally, then he and Morty could have run through it without stopping. 6 seasons. 6 seasons this has been bugging me.
Our lives are never ending, but not even in the dumb vampire way where after a while you hate it.
Well, that's a pretty bold statement to make. Are you speaking on behalf of everyone? Even what looks like peasants who don't get fancy armor and swords? And how can this be something you truly know until you've lived for millions of years and are endlessly suffocating through the heat death of the universe?
It is the home of the solar scepter, around which all worlds revolve. The men who keep it safe are admired by all and live as gods.
Admired by all? Then how the f*** is Morty only just hearing about them? We'll learn that there are people living on all the planets of the solar system, all of whom are aware of the Sun Knights, yet the most populated planet in the solar system hasn't got a clue?
It's a terrific and painful sacrifice we all make for the most important and powerful job in the universe.
Careful how you're throwing the word universe around, sir. You're not even the best drummer in the Beatles. Wait, I may have my star punchlines confused.
No, the sword has already seen Blade and loved it. You'll be fine.
Introducing us to a larger sentient Blade doesn't make it any less of a recycled concept.
I'm a drunk, I'm a psychopath, I'm a murderer.
Rejected lines from Meredith Brooks' 1997 hit song somehow make their way into this episode.
Now every sweet songbird sing.
The show's acting like Morty's more upset by the singing of these knights than he is by the fact that they only have honey to put on their pancakes. Jerry, Beth, and Summer all appear to be chewing and swallowing despite having a plate of intact pancakes. Why is breakfast such a challenge for this show?
Yeah, so there you have it. Traditions suck ass and your most foundational beliefs are total bullshit.
Morty's lecture, though strikingly similar to the experience of taking a college-level history course, for some reason includes a diagram that presents all of the planets on the same orbital ellipse. And a room full of space travelers lets him get away with this.
I just used your computer phone to search despair.
Bullshit you did. This phone is clearly on the History of New York podcast, and even if the rim prices there are bad enough to have this pop up when you search despair, it's certainly not the first hit, or even above the site with the demotivational posters. So if Rick and Morty need spacesuits on the moon, are we saying that the asteroid at the start of the show had a atmosphere?
Haven't you seen, like, all of the universes?
Exactly, so why would I hang out on Pluto? That's some Jerry League shit.
You take that back. Pluto has had a rough time enough as it is without that sort of slander.
Do the Knights of the Sun plan to protect Mercury from this chaos?
The Mercurians choose to ceremonially cut off their right breast instead of their and I don't know if this was a low-key way to raise awareness for breast cancer in both women and men, but that's certainly the reason I'm pointing it out, so I'm removing a sin because the animators gave me the opportunity to do so. But also, the animators let this scar migrate from the left in this shot to the right in this shot, so I have to add a sin again because they gave me the opportunity to do so.
It's all you, pal.
This fireworks.
Don't I have, authority over this Sons of the Moon meeting?
Looks like Morty went to the King Viserys school of asserting your authority.
Santa? What the hell is that? I'm the Earl of Earth, goddammit!
The Earl of Earth has no idea who Santa is. How can you be the Earl of Earth and not understand the true meaning of Christmas?
Venus questions the legitimacy of this king's authority.
I've been trying to put my finger on why this episode isn't quite landing for me, and then this line suddenly hit me like an unannounced 10-year time jump. I think the episode shot for Game of Thrones but accidentally landed in House of the Dragon. Now, there's a chance that they sabotaged their own episode as a meta way to have a pop at how boring the Thrones concept is in and of itself. But that would be like me publishing this video without any of the punchlines, and I get accused of doing that enough as it is. Writers realized there was no British noble title that began with the letter N, so they just gave Neptune a silly voice and called it a day. We won't dare play the song out of fear of angering some pink guy, but Goodbye Blue Sky is currently soundtracking the Solar War, so the sin as always is Ruby Tuesday. Is ye old neutral zone on the moon? If so, why are the Sons of the Moon okay with this? And if it's because the Sons of the Moon moved all their operations to the sun, why haven't we started referring to them as the Sons of the Sun? Santa Claus is not looking on the bright side of life in this scene. Technosplaining your type's position. Type-no-splaining your war crimes position.
What is this? Vat of acid again?
We weren't thinking it was vat of acid again till you brought it up. Then we did think it was vat of acid again because you brought it up. Then we thought it was less about doing vat of acid again and more about doing self-referential callbacks because you think we love that shit. Then we thought maybe we'd like it if you did do vat of acid again because as it turns out, we might love that shit. And then we thought maybe vat of acid again was just a metaphor for trying to love again after being burned one too many times. Then we thought, what's vat of acid again got to do with it? Who needs a vat when a vat can be broken?
Morty, this family's got enough clones and robots in it.
I'm not sure if Rick is using "in it" as an American way to confirm that one or more of their family members are robots, or if he's using the British slang "in it" as a bit of filler to elicit agreement from Morty. But what I do know is that this episode has far too many not funny jokes in it.
Living on the sun has turned our veins into triple bonded carbon, so try this tale on for size, Mortaniel. We can't OD!
Well, sure, triple blotted veins will do the trick, but didn't you guys say you were immortal and only died when you chose to? Wouldn't that be a pretty solid defense as well? Also, who, while on a sun-adulterated heroin binge, stops for any amount of time to confirm the composition of their veins?
I'll give you a fake with 3 layers of failsafes.
Yeah, but if 2 of those failsafes start rubbing against each other, it could really undermine the whole endeavor. Also, why not just let Morty cut his dick off and then grow it back for him later? Not that I want to see this. I'm just saying, we've seen Rick grow parts of bodies, clone entire bodies, and change the entire genetic makeup of a species multiple times. Growing back one penis should be a cakewalk.
We're gonna make your so fake, buddy.
Is a thing Rick said to his grandson in this episode.
The signal! Sir, the Knights of the Sun are once more!
Everyone starts destroying their weapons as soon as the sun signal starts without confirming that all of their enemies are doing the same or that peace is actually at hand. This is like ending your crime spree in Gotham after seeing the bat signal without confirming that Batman isn't just tied up with the Joker or some shit. Okay, it's not exactly like that, but at some point the criminals of Gotham should realize that the fucking bat signal doesn't mean shit for them. And if Batman is chasing after petty thieves, then he should look at where he's dedicating his resources. I mean, why does he even attend bank robberies in progress? All the fucking money is insured anyway. The does the bank care? Yeah, I know the money will get used for drugs and weapons and stuff, but is a glorified nightlight really inspiring that much fear in hardened criminals? What was I saying again? Did Yorkover Disguiser really need that very visual notification that it's been turned off? Also, why can this hologram be deactivated at the touch of a button, but not reactivated at the touch of a button after Morty goes through the scanner?
Whoa, a sunspot!
What where?
Something, Morty's pixelated clone slinkies down the stairs, improv the rest, is how I imagine this scene was written.
Okay, well, go on through. And of course, by prosthetic, we mean witchcraft.
A little witch is funny and all, but this was clearly designed for a humorous reveal and not to actually fool anyone. I'm not even sure why Morty's pretending this one was gonna work.
We even checked with a royal ladle to ensure it was real sun, not just them hiding beneath in a vat of fake sun.
Show thinks it's funny that it was vat of acid again this entire time, showing favoritism.
Coming right up, 3 losums.
How about 10 years in jail?
Well, if you were about to arrest him for trafficking these creatures, did you have to open with ordering some to be eaten? They get their poor little heads punctured also that you can have your big gotcha moment, you selfish bastard. This is like fucking Batman deciding to disappear on Jim Gordon mid-sentence just so, hey, don't you ding me off, I've got things to say. Hey, stop with the bams, I'm not done yet. Cinny.
Maybe it really is all in the end.
Now just cut off your penises and throw them into the sun.
Not quite my tempo.
This guy's the king of the sun.
Wait a minute, this happened.
We are now the night to say, Icky, 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 for tang, zoom, boing,
What is this? Vat of acid again?
I understood that reference.
Come on, Morty, stop asking what you're asking and let's just get back to our crisis.
By all means, Dr. Selden, speak.
I admit, I wanted what you once had. Brotherhood, tradition, stability, purpose. I just didn't want to cut my dick off for it.
He's beginning to believe.
That walkway needs those knights need a king, and that king needs no dick.
But you're not king!
Yeah, go tell everybody. Your reward's gonna be cutting off your own dick.
Okay, well then I changed my answer to just ignoring the question.